Hey guys, so I just got back from the theater from seeing Straight Outta Compton. This is a movie that I was looking forward to, even though I'm not that big of a fan of rap music. Um, and that should tell you like how interesting this movie looked to me. Just with that fact alone, I'm not saying I hate rap music. I do know a rap artist. I love Tupac. I love Notorious B.I.G. Love Eminem. 50 Cent's great. I'm trying to think of somebody else. I know there's somebody else I'm not thinking off the top of my head. But as far as N.W.A goes, I've of course heard their songs Straight Outta Compton and Fuck the Police. That's about the only two songs of theirs I've ever heard. Um, but from the trailers of this thing, this looked like it would be an interesting film. You could tell this was a passion project. Ice Cube, Dr. Dre, and all of them were producing this thing, and it's what, like I said, a passion project of theirs to make a biopic about them. And I was like, yeah, this is one of those that could go one of two ways. It could be really good or really bad. That's usually how passion projects go. You could have something like something really good, like something like 8 Mile, which was a really good film, or you could have something like Get Rich or Die Trying with 50 Cent, which wasn't very good. It could be somewhere in the middle, or it could be on either ends of the spectrum, or it could be somewhere in the middle. And like I said, this movie looked interesting enough to me. It looked like it would be pretty good. It's a movie that looked like it would be, talking about a lot of stuff that's still pretty relevant today. A lot of issues that we have, especially with the police, violence against the African Americans, and the long-standing bad relationship between the two of them. It looked like from the trailers, it looked like it was going to focus a lot on that, which I thought was interesting. Which is something that uh, is it's a pretty goddamn topical thing to talk about right now, especially. And like I say, I was looking forward to it. It looked like it would be an interesting film. And you know what? This movie is one of the best films of the year. I'm not making that up. This is a really good movie. It is, like, from top to bottom, a damn good biopic. One of the best biopics I've seen in a long damn time. And that's coming from someone that didn't know much about N.W.A other than it's a couple of songs in that Ice Cube and Dr. Dre started out from them. And of course I know who fucking Ice Cube and Dr. Dre are. I mean, they have to be stupid. They have to be under a rock for the past 30 years and not know who those people or who they are. But even not being a big fan of rap and not being a big fan of N.W.A, I still really love this movie. This is a really good movie. That's one of the big things that like this movie gets right, is that it can make a general audience member like it. You don't have to just be a fan of N.W.A to like this movie. The acting in this movie is solid, really good, really, really good. This movie, while it is about the whole group N.W.A, it does mainly focus on three people from the N.W.A. The three biggest members, the three members that everybody remembers: Eazy-E, Ice Cube, and Dr. Dre. They all equally get a lot of screen time. All three of those. The other two kind of get put to the wayside, which I've heard some people complain about, but I can understand that. But honestly, out of the group, those are the three everybody remembers. And they all, like I said, they all get their screen time. They are all, get their chance to shine in this film. It is really alarming how much these actors they got. I don't know they got look like their counterparts, for fuck's sake. For fuck's sake, Ice Cube, if you don't know, is being played by his son. And I swear to God, I half the time thought Ice Cube, when he was younger, cloned himself, and this is his clone that we saw, because this kid looks just like him. It's scary. He looks just like his dad. It is Ice Cube's son, and he looks just like him. And you would, if it wasn't for his voice, you would really think this is Ice Cube, a younger version of Ice Cube. You're really seeing footage of a young Ice Cube on screen, and that this is not a film. It's baffling. Like, and he has his mannerisms, he has his dad's mannerisms, his facial expressions, everything down, and he's really good at it. He's really good. Like I said, and then same with Dr. Dre, that guy whoever they found. I don't know what his name is. I read it isn't his son, but I swear to God, he could be related to Dr. Dre. Somehow, he has to be, because that kid looks just like him. Like, spot on image of him. Or, like, it's frightening, like I said. And same with Eazy-E. Like, I gotta give points to this movie, like, for getting actors that look like their counterparts. That's amazing. But that's not the only thing, like I said, that is the only amazing thing, is their acting in this movie is really, really good. And you see a lot of the flaws. They show a lot of the flaws of each guy. They're not exactly perfect people, as this movie points out throughout the film. You see a lot of their major flaws. And it honestly is, for most part, honestly, Eazy-E's movie, which was interesting. Because out of the three, I forgot that Eazy-E died. So that was a shock to me at the end of the movie that he dies of AIDS. Spoiler alert if you don't know. That was where his acting in this movie was really good, especially towards the end when he finds out he has AIDS. His reactions are genuine. The acting was genuine. The acting from everybody else was genuine. It was really well done. It was really emotional scenes. And like Eazy-E gets a lot of screen time, and it is for the most part like his movie. But like I said, the other two do get a lot of screen time too. I mean, they show this movie is 2.5 hours, and it shows like the start of N.W.A, their rise to fame, and then them splitting up and doing all their own different things, like Eazy starting Ruthless, or continuing Ruthless Records with Paul Giamatti, Dr. Dre going to Death Row Records and then doing his own thing at the end of the movie, and Ice Cube doing what Ice Cube does nowadays, even including in one of the funniest parts of the damn movie, one of the funniest inside jokes of the movie. He's writing the script to Friday. Why is that funny, you ask? The director of this movie directed Friday, too. and so, of course, yeah, he's like, it was kind of funny. Like, they show him, venturing out, doing his own music, and also doing, movies and stuff like that, and how successful. At the end of this movie, they do show, how much of an influence they've had. The three of them have had on music. Eazy-E's legacy, Dr. Dre being this great producer, one of the greatest producers, music producers out there, not just rap. A guy who's found so much talent throughout his career, and Ice Cube being Ice Cube. Paul Giamatti also is really good in this movie as a sleazy as hell. What is it? He's their agent. He's sleazy as hell. At first, he is really likable and kind of this likable guy, but then you find out his true colors, and he is really sleazy. This guy was really sleazy. I don't know if, how accurate that is. He's really good in this movie. I love Paul Giamatti. Anytime Paul Giamatti's in a movie, I fucking love him. He's one of my favorite actors out there. I'm trying to think also. I'll tell you one thing. The one group of people that probably will not like this movie is the cops, anybody who's a police officer, probably will not like this movie, because they do not. This movie does not really put the police in any good light, in my opinion. And this is, firsthand. Like I said, Ice Cube and all them produced this, so they, obviously had a say in, what their side of the story was with their experiences with cops. And this movie doesn't, like I said, doesn't really portray them in a very good light with cops. The cops, and like I said, it's the police brutality and the police, the long-standing uneasy relationship between cops and African Americans is a pretty damn topical discussion right now. Not just in the 80s, it still is a very topical discussion. It's kind of scary that we haven't gotten past that point yet. It is really, I love the fact that, after a little encounter they have with the police, right in front of their studio, where they get pretty much almost arrested and they get put on the ground by the police. They end up writing "fuck the police." That was kind of funny. That was their inspiration for that song. And in that scene, the great scene, I even though I didn't know much about the N.W.A, I've heard the story where they performed in Detroit and were told not to perform the song "fuck the police," and they end up doing it anyways, and they get arrested. That was a great scene. This is a movie I don't want to talk too much and spoil too much about this movie. I mean, there's not much to spoil. If you know anything about N.W.A, you probably would, there's not much to spoil here. I'm trying to think what else to talk about here. I'm all lost for words for some reason. I was just thinking all this great stuff. One thing I will say is that while I did compliment them on finding great actors that look like their counterparts with the three main actors, there are a couple where I kind of scratched my head, particularly the guy who they got to play Snoop Dogg. Snoop Dogg is in this movie, and he pops up in this movie, and I got first, I was like, who the hell is that? And they said, oh, I'm Snoop D-O-double-G, and I'm like, that is not fucking Snoop Dogg. He does not look like Snoop Dogg whatsoever. He has the voice down pat, but he looks nothing like him. He more looks like Dave Chappelle than Snoop Dogg. I'm not making it up. And then I also have Tupac, who I couldn't really tell. I didn't see much of him in it. He's only in one scene, and I couldn't really get a grasp of where he looked like Tupac. All I can say is that he was bald, and that was it. It's he is like some of the castings was a little cuckoo there. Like I said, with Snoop Dogg, that kid looked nothing like Snoop Dogg whatsoever. The movie is a little long too. I will say that it is a little long. There probably could have been stuff he could have easily cut out. I remember, at one point, I thought I was in, an hour, I had, this movie, had been on for an hour and a half, I thought. It only been an hour. I'm like, fuck! It's it was still good. It didn't, bore me or anything. There was a reason why this movie is that long. I mean, it covers a lot of ground. It covers, like I said, the beginning of N.W.A, the origins of when they were in Compton, and them all branching out and doing their own thing and all stuff like that. And that's awesome. And it's showing the success stories of each one of them. It's an amazing story to just see them go from being in the ghetto where they could have easily been killed by gangsters, anything like that, to now becoming worldwide renowned artists that are pretty respected in the rap community, stuff like that. Ice Cube obviously is a great success story. Dr. Dre is a freaking course. Got a lot of respect for both those guys. And it's amazing. And how the hell are they not in the Hall of Fame yet? They have been nominated in a couple for a couple years. They've been nominated, but I'm expecting they'll be nominated or they'll get in the Hall of Fame in the next couple of years. I hope so. It's like you got a lot of people like Beastie Boys and shit like that, and you're like, how is the N.W.A not in there yet? It's a little absurd. That's pretty damn absurd. I still believe that they need to quit calling it the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame and just call it the Music Hall of Fame. Because rap is not rock and roll, but at the same time, I'm glad that they're putting them in the Hall of Fame. Like rap artists in the Hall of Fame. I'm fine with that. Oh, by the way, there was one scene I got to talk about. There was this movie even has like when I was talking about inside jokes, and this movie having inside jokes throughout it. This movie even has a By Felicia. Apparently, the origin of the By Felicia phenomena. I'm not making that up. There's a scene where they do say By Felicia. And I like, even before it happened, I knew where it was gonna happen. Like, oh, for fuck's sake, they're not going there, and they did, and it got a laugh out of the movie theater. I'll give them that. So, like, at the same time, I was like, oh, for fuck's sake, like, I was like, I don't know, I was like, that did not need to be in there, just to make people chuckle and like be a little wink, wink to the camera. It felt like, but whatever. It didn't need to really be in there, but it was kind of funny at the same time because you knew where it was going. You just knew the setup to the payoff was going to be somebody saying "Bye, Felicia." That was pretty. That was pretty funny. There's got to be something else I got to talk about. I forget. There's something. Like I say, I talked about the acting. Screw it. I think that's all I can talk about here. Go see it. Freaking go see it. It is a 2.5 hour movie. I want to mention this. I went in thinking that I was going to be the only white person in there. No, actually, there's more white people in the movie theater than blacks, which was really weird for me. And I know that sounds racist, and that's not meant to be racist, but this is, African Americans are the demographic for this movie. Pretty goddamn much. I mean, it's pretty safe assumption to believe that, I would think. And there was more white people in the movie theater. It was a pretty decent crowd. It was a pretty good crowd for this movie. I'm sure this is going to make a good amount of money come this weekend. I hope it does. It's getting a real strong word of mouth. And people walking out were saying this was a really good movie. I've really enjoyed this movie. I even want the soundtrack to this thing. This was really good. Like, the music in this film was really good. I was bopping my head throughout the damn thing. Like, there's just so many good songs in this damn thing. Made me even appreciate, like, it did its job and make me appreciate N.W.A even more. Being a guy that didn't know that much about them, other than, some of their songs and who was in the group. So yeah, go see it. I really like this movie. It's probably gonna be a strong contender for one of the best films of the year. It should be probably on my top 10 list come the end of the year, but who knows anymore? Because we got a lot of movies coming out in fall that could easily beat it. As far as previews go, I got Ride Along 2. I didn't like the first one. This one has Ken Jeong in it. That doesn't fucking help. Yeah, that's all I'm gonna say. Like, I didn't care too much for the first one. I like Kevin Hart. I love Ice Cube. Like I said, I love Ice Cube and I love Kevin Hart. I just didn't really like that movie. It was just, it would have been more fun if it was a rated R film, I felt. That would have been more of a funny R-rated comedy, but, like, it's from the director of, like, Fantastic Four and Barbershop, so there you go. I like Barbershop, I'll tell you that right now. Which I hear are making a third movie. Why? I don't know why. At the new trailer for Maze Runner, Scorch Trials. I never saw the first one. I don't know what the hell is going on in this one. There's some kind of disease that turns people into zombies, I guess. I don't know. It's like, what the hell is this, Maze Runner? Or what the hell is this? I don't know. I guess I would have to watch or read the books or watch the first movie to understand what the hell is going on in this trailer. I don't know. That's. I got the Perfect Guy trailer. This is a weird trailer because this movie's coming out in September, which is like only a couple weeks away, and this was like a teaser trailer, which was weird, for a movie that's coming out less than a month, and I think it comes out on September 11th, which is weird, and it's like it has no dialogue, like it's a trailer, has no dialogue, it's just playing the song "I Got a Spell on You" throughout it, and it basically looks like what 50 Shades of Grey should have been, which is a really scary dark thriller. Because this movie does look like if 50 Shades of Grey were that dark thriller that I thought it should have been. Like, the creepy obsessed guy is the villain in this movie, like Christian Grey should have been. So that's what it felt like. It's like a guy is stalking a woman and stuff like that. From what I read, she's in a long-term relationship and she starts cheating on her long-term boyfriend with another guy, and the guy ends up being a crazy stalker. It's a single white female, but if it was, different sexes, I guess. No, I mean Fatal Attraction, not single white female. That's what I meant. Fatal Attraction, but if like different sexes. And then I got like a new trailer for Sicario, or I don't know how to say this anymore. It's that one of the Mexican drug cartel, the FBI trying to take down a Mexican Mexican drug cartel. That's easy for me to say, with Benicio del Toro, Emily Blunt, Josh Brolin. It looks alright. Like I said, it's a shorter trailer. It was nothing really new. It was just a little bit of a shorter trailer. It looks like it'll be good. It could be really good. It's from the guy that made Prisoners. So, alright. That's as far as trailers. Go see Straight Outta Compton. Definitely recommend that. It's a really good movie. And I'll be back next week with Sinister 2. And until then, I'll talk to you guys later.